Nation Pod, your source for gaming, sports, anime news, and much more. As always, I am the anime watching John Cena's bestie, Shaq Daddy himself, Ryan Green Machine Ebner. And today, we are doing a gaming episode. We just had a Nintendo Direct and a ton of other little things to get into, which we will. Before that, though, you can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at AMNATIONPod. Hit the follow button on all of those. Listen to the show on podcast platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. Just search Amalgamation Nation, and while you're there, you'll notice the Big J and PB show episodes are being put into the same stream, same spot as the AM Nation Pod episodes, so you won't have to keep looking for two separate feeds. They'll just be all together. It's a little bit easier that way for everybody to find them, so you can check out those episodes as well. Twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull is where you find David streaming whenever he is home. Give him a follow and a sub. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Gaming sub a month, so give it to Undead Black Bull. The GG app is another cool thing that you can use to keep track of all the backlog games you're playing. It's been a ridiculous year so far, so maybe you want to make reviews on the games you're playing, maybe you want to mark a list of games you want to play later. Just download the GG app and that helps you do all those cool things. And if you want to see our list and stuff, it's AM Nation Pod on there as well. And finally, the Epic Games creator code. That is a fun way to help support the show at no extra cost to you. So if you're playing Fortnite, maybe you're playing Rocket League, maybe you're getting those free weekly games on the Epic Games Store on your PC, use that code AMNationPod, and you help support the show at no extra cost to you. Joining me today from North Carolina, Brendan B.K. Kennerly. BK, how are you, sir? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, hasn't been super crazy at work, but it's been good. How are you?
Not too bad. Work has been very hot. It's very hot right now this week here. After last week, it was like very cold. We had this weird like 60 degrees, 40s at night kind of thing for like a few days, and now it's just like 90. I got my car today. It's at 102. You know what I mean? Wasn't really enjoying that. I don't like that. But other than that, pretty good. Pretty.
That's
solid.
hotter than us.
Oh, well, there you go. It's great. I love it. I felt like Dan for a second. Speaking of Dan, I will mention real quick that I playing Diablo 4, obviously, which I know we'll both talk about, but I played with Dan yesterday, so I can confirm he still is real, and he does exist.
That's good. He's a real boy.
He's a real boy. And I heard you may have convinced, annoyed, bribed somebody to join the show today to talk about Hogwarts.
Yes, as everyone at home will know, I have a beautiful wife, much smarter, prettier than me. But the entire time we've been together, hasn't played a video game once. I'm not even I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Has not picked up the sticks ever. Like I would jokingly say, like, hey, here are the sticks, and like I'd throw them to her, and she would just like avoid it, let the controllers hit the ground. Like, that's a slight exaggeration, but she would not pick up the sticks ever for any game, for whatever reason, just was not interested. But I even told her about Hogwarts Legacy, like when the trailers were first coming out. I was like, I think you might like this, and she was like, no, get out of here with that nonsense. I don't care about this. But then we were in Wadesboro, where her family's from, and we met up with her brother that night, and he was actually playing Hogwarts Legacy, and so we watched a little bit, and she was like, oh, and I think that's where she's like, okay, I could be interested in this. Like, I will give this a shot. And so what I was honestly going to do was I was going to give her as a push gift, as what I guess like people are doing, like you give your wife or significant other something, essentially like, hey, thanks for pushing out the baby. Here's a little something. I was going to get her that game. But then her brother, my brother-in-law, it was very kind. When he finished the game, he was like, hey, just keep it, enjoy, and everything like that. So she was able to hop in sooner here. And and Ryan was right. I really had to berate her a whole bunch to get her on, just to give a few thoughts. And I'll lead her in here in a second. She's about to talk. But for everyone at home, like she hasn't played a video game in forever, so it's been fun to kind of watch her play Hogwarts Legacy, where it's, you know, a third-person open-world game when she's learning how to use the joystick. She's learning how to look around, and she's learning these modern video game mechanics that are second nature to you and I, Ryan, but like to her, it's like kind of learning a foreign language for the first time. So I guess like, what are your thoughts like on the controller and learning how to just to run, to move, and all that stuff, babe?
I mean, it just takes getting used to, but it hasn't been that bad.
Okay. What aspects of Hogwarts Legacy do you like most? If only one aspect, what do you like?
Yeah, definitely the Merlin trials.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, they made me so mad.
They're like little puzzles.
Oh, that's why I'm so bad at puzzles. Damn it.
See, that's been a fun part too, is that
Because you've helped me figure some of them out.
I have, and I'm not like a super genius, like just, but I don't think she realized like how, especially like these open world games, they can be very puzzle oriented. That's just how a lot of things are, collectibles, whatever it may be, and I didn't think you realized that coming in. So, and so I know you don't like the broom.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I think I just got to get used to it more because I'm not doing that as much as I'm running around and looking around.
But you like running around, looking around, like, and exploring. It seems like you really like this world. So she's finally running everywhere now. Where it's like I had to get up on her in the beginning because I was like, stop walking places, like click that baby in.
But it makes it easier. Guide pages.
So see, so like there's the counterpoints, and so like how are you liking like the spell casting and all that so far?
Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's as hard as I thought it would be.
And for everyone at home, she is playing on easy, but like I said, she hasn't played a video game in like more than 5 years. So it's been.
And it was Madden. All I played was Madden.
Oh, a little different. A little different then.
Whole new experience.
Yeah.
But okay, so pregnant lady, non-gamer, quick review. What do you say? Like, you know, quick blurb about it.
I mean, I have the bias of loving Harry Potter, so there's that. But I get where you're coming from as far as like the open world games. I like it in that aspect. So I like it.
Good. Oh, and I gotta tell you this, Ryan, and for all the listeners to know, this was really funny to me. I forget what day it was. Like, I think I came back from work, like on my lunch, or maybe it was after work that day, and she was like, I have so many quests. Like, I don't know what to do. There's so many. And I was like, yeah, that's how these open world games can get. They throw a lot at you. And then she prepping it up. She's like, oh, like, so these ones are side missions. I was like, yeah. So like, you don't have to necessarily do that. But she's actually doing quite a bit of them. I think she's only about like 40-50% through like the game, but she's darn near over half of like the the field pages, whatever they're called.
Yeah, field pages.
The field pages, and like she's crushing the Merlin things, like so. Yeah, she's doing a lot of the side stuff before she's even getting to like the meat and potatoes, as Joey would say.
David would be so excited to hear that. David would just be so thrilled. That's exactly how it was when we played. Like, he was like, I was trying to like pump myself through the story, and he's got all the field pages. He's doing all the extra stuff. I got to a point. I think I haven't turned it on in a while, but the last thing I knew, I just had a bunch of spell classes I still had to do, and I just had forgotten about them, and I felt very overwhelmed for a little while. So it does happen. There's a lot of quests in that game.
Mm-hmm. I know I don't have to do them all.
Yeah. Well, and so it's just it's actually been like a lot of fun for me just to honestly just like to watch her play, and then just to help her every now and then. I think I had to help her with the Aloha Mora opening locks. Yeah. That mechanic with the joysticks you couldn't figure out, but it's honestly been like a lot of fun. And I guess like maybe it's kind of giving me a glimpse of like eventually like, you know, Cassie will play some video games, you know, at a certain point in her life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she'll play some. I think she'll play some. Outside of soccer and hunting, she's gonna probably do a little bit of everything. But it's giving me a glimpse of that, and so like it's making me excited to eventually like, you know, kind of like watch her play. Like it just because it's a lot of fun to just watch. For me just to sit there, maybe dick around on my phone a little bit, but just watching Colleen play and just have fun. I do super enjoy that, so it gets me excited for down the line. So.
It's one of the best things, honestly. Like I think on the show, man, months back, like when I talked about Caitlin playing Dreamlight Valley, the Disney game, and how she became like instantly obsessed with this. Like I could not touch the Xbox at all. It was just like that was hers, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. Like, you know, you played for about 6 hours. I think it's okay, but it was just like it was fun, and I love that. So that's a great point. It's nice to like take the back seat for a little while and just like not have to worry about it. Yeah, passenger seat. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one time where she told me to shut up, and because I was like, well, you know, I was like, oh, why don't you like do it this way instead?
I'm trying.
I'm trying. Try it faster. One other thing where it's like she had to do a few things in like, well, so like spell casting. She was always like she would do like the right trigger X, like she would always do them like both at the same time, and so she was like missing timing. I was like, just hold that right trigger down, baby, and then just do all the face buttons, like make it easier for yourself. She's like, oh, yeah, and then like she had to drop, you had to use like multiple potions or mandrakes at the same time. She's like, how am I gonna do that? I was like, well, you pop one, then go back in there, pop another, and so it's like it's been fun to see her just learn like kind of video game mechanics. And so she's a gamer now. She's got it down. Yeah. She's locked in. So, but just want to thank you, babe, for coming on. We'll get her off. She's been crushing it at work, and she's got a tough week. She just started.
Is it thumbs up? Is it like 2 thumbs up? Right? Isn't that the Netflix scale we use every time?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
There we go. Fantastic.
But just thank you, babe, for coming on, and so go play more Hogwarts or take a nap. You burned it. Yeah, you should do it. I can't help as much more recording though.
He's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Fantastic. It's so cool because, like I said, I played that game, and to see other people playing it, and like somebody that actually loves Harry Potter and loves that universe, like it's a great to get that type of like perspective on it is really, really cool. I honestly sometimes forget that game came out this year. So like then it like triggers my brain as I was listening to her talk about it. I'm like, oh shit. I was just like, the games of the year list at the end of the year is gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really difficult.
It's nuts, which I know this is like, this is beyond Colleen's level. So
yeah,
I'll throw on the headphones here, and then we'll talk about the game of the year stuff.
Have that.
What I've been playing, what you've been playing, and like I said, but thank you, babe, for coming on. So superstar over here.
Enjoy some Hogwarts. Thank you.
Yeah.
So very, very excited. Awesome to have CK on. Fantastic. As I mentioned as well, what we've been playing, what we've been watching. We're gonna get that in here now as we can discuss between BK and myself. A lot of cool things happening right now in video games. There was a Nintendo Direct today. We're gonna talk about that. I was so happy that I watched the Nintendo Direct when I did. So that's gonna be really cool to get into. As I mentioned, Diablo 4. We're going to talk about Diablo 4. We're going to talk about some of the seasonal stuff from Diablo 4 and plenty of other things. So, but also, BK was so smart to remind me today, a Secret Invasion begins today, so I cannot wait to watch that later. And BK at the same time, in case you didn't know, if you don't know, now you know. The Black Clover movie is out right now on Netflix. It is at number 2 in the world of watched on Netflix, guys. It is time. Weebs Rise Up. It's in English, in case anybody was curious. You could do English or Japanese, your choice.
I was about to ask.
I
was like,
tested it.
we
I tested it sitting by the pool, dude. Tested it when I was sitting at home because I was like, or sitting by the pool because I was like, wait, if I hype this up and BK knows that it's not in English, he's gonna be really pissed. I'm like, hold on, let me just see. Yes. So like when you go in there, it's just like everything else you go to watch on Netflix, right? You set what language you want to hear it in, and then what language you want your subtitles in. But yes, the English dub is in there right now, so you can check that out as well. Just as a let you know what else we're doing this week too, before we dive into this, we got a sports show that we're supposed to record right after this. I've got Grace by Rain tomorrow talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and my love of movies and going to the movies. And then Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, Weebisodes are back. So get ready for Weebisodes to drop next week. I don't know what we're talking about yet. I started to kind of like add little blurbs to the notes. I have no clue. We're just going to kind of let Jesus take the wheel on that one. Or Goku take the wheel. Our Lord and Savior Goku. BK, what you been watching? What you been playing?
So what I've been watching, the wife and I actually just saw Spider-Verse 2 last Friday, Saturday. And we liked it. We enjoyed it. We both think the first Spider-Verse is better. And not to say that Spider-Verse 2 is bad.
Okay.
It's not the case. I think personally that Spider-Verse 1 is just such a landmark superhero movie that it's like trying to follow up The Dark Knight, where it's like it's never going to hit the same highs. Like Dark Knight Rises, it was just like it's a tough act to follow from The Dark Knight. Same from Spider-Verse 1 to Spider-Verse 2 for me. And one criticism Colleen did have, and this is valid, is that a lot of the different art styles can be a little jarring to someone that's not used to reading a lot of comic books, or I guess even playing almost like chaotic video games to a certain degree. Like almost like I kind of likened it to like Super Smash Brothers when you're playing like 8-player and there's just so many things happening on the screen at once. It can get a bit overwhelming at times. And that's kind of how she was feeling. And I completely understand that. And my one like main complaint about this movie is that it feels like a setup movie for the last like third of it. It just feels like a setup. I just felt it coming the whole time because I was like, this has been going on a while. There's no way this is like going to be resolved. Like with how everything else was going in that movie, with all the emotional arcs and emotional beats on the movie, which all hit. They all hit. None of them miss. They all hit. But it's just like there was no way they were going to be resolved. So that's why I'm like dinging it a little bit. But like I said, it's not a bad movie. My favorite Spider-Man was Spider-Man India. He was hilarious.
Fantastic, yeah.
The voice actor, like I can picture his face. I can't remember it. It's like Nev.
It's the guy, the taxi driver from Deadpool.
Yeah, him, and he's also in like a few shows. I've seen. He's super duper funny. I loved it, and all the different Spider-Men and Spider-Women designs, they were just great. Peter B. Parker, shout out to him, having Mayday there with the cute little knitted Spider-Man mask, like
super cute.
Toboggan. That was fantastic. I saw that, and like in my head, I was like, I gotta get that for Cassidy. Like that's like a no-brainer buy. Like honestly. Even though she'd probably only be able to wear it for probably like a month, maybe 2 out of the year here. T-Rex Spider-Man, that was super cool. There's a lot of comic book shout-outs in this movie, and so I can see why that will kind of turn some people off. And we have talked about this with these newer Marvel properties, and this is purely a Sony one. This is an MCU, but it's like we're getting very comic booky with these, and so do you start alienating some of your more casual fans? I don't know, but it's something to certainly think about. I know you and David enjoy the shit out of Spider-Verse too. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's one of my favorite movies I've watched. It's something that, again, just like the first one, I can rewatch. Like, I could keep sitting there watching that movie. It's visually very appealing to me. It made me feel all sorts of emotions throughout the movie. Some of the twists and turns at the end were really, really good. I love the scenes being in the, like, spider association with like all the different Spider-Men and women. All the different villains we saw. We got Donald Glover, dude. That was pretty cool. I was like, oh shit. We got the PlayStation Insomniac Spider-Man at one point. That was cool. I did see, and one of my favorite things is you wouldn't have noticed it during the chase scene, but there's a picture and it's literally the Spider-Man ice cream bar from the ice cream truck when you were little that you would get. That is one of the Spider-Men in the movie. I think that's super cool. My hopes for the next one, let's call him up. I think Daniel Barnes, I think that's the voice actor's name. Call him up. I want 90s cartoon Spider-Man in this movie. I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what needs to be done, but it needs to happen. Okay? If that happens in the next one, I think what's so cool about this is this trilogy is probably going to go down as maybe the best comic book movie trilogy of all time. Like, unless the third one misses for some reason, I don't know. It's going to be better than Guardians to me, like as a trilogy as a whole.
Oh yeah,
Maybe Batman, but even that Batman Christopher Nolan trilogy, I think, because some people just really don't like Dark Knight Rises a lot. So this is it, dude. It's gonna be sweet. I love it. It came from Sony, like of all things. We got some connections to like Sammy verse Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man, right? We got to see some of that. I'm very interested. What is next? If I was a gambling man, which I am, I assume Tom Holland is saved for the final one, and we get some type of Tom Holland interact. Something's gonna happen, just to kind of do that.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love that we got a little Venom action with the Venom verse there for a little with the market keeper. It's cool. Overall, I love that movie, man. I love that movie. I've actually enjoyed almost every movie I've seen so far, except one, which I'll get into when I talk about what I've been watching and playing. But that movie's awesome. I love it. I could see all your points, and like I could see why you'd say like, okay, like this could be a turnoff for some, and why you find the first one better. Of course, it's such a great movie, and it does totally like feel like we're leading into it. Like they're doing heavy on the fact that this is leading into the third movie. But man. There's something about that movie, man. I sat there and watched that, and I was in theaters with David, and I was like, man, this is why I love doing this shit. This is why I love going to the movies. And that's the kind of feeling I get from it.
I get that completely, and I ain't gonna hate you for it at all, brother. But what else have you been watching?
Oh, so I didn't mention this last time, but I went and saw Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Again, really good Transformers movie. And everybody that knows Transformers movies knows what that means. Okay? Is this going to win some Oscars? Absolutely not, dude. But what they do, I preface this by saying, I grew up in the 90s. I love Beast Wars. Okay? Beast Wars was something that I was obsessed with as a kid. I love it. And when I realized it was on Netflix, I rewatched the whole thing again. It's something about that was like, obviously for 90s kids, that was our introduction into Transformers, right? That was how Hasbro and everybody got to us and got us toys, and that's how the toys market, obviously all those shows, that's what they all were based on, is toys. But it was awesome, dude. At one point when Optimus Prime was like, Maximals, maximize, again, I was literally like, I was in the theater like, oh dude, 4-year-old Ryan right now is just like hyped beyond belief. But it was actually a really good entry into that series, the Transformers franchise. Like way better than, I think, to me, better than the Mark Wahlberg ones. I think it was not as good as the first Transformers movie. Maybe not even as good as the second Transformers movie, but like it's probably a top 3, top 4 Transformers movie. Like that was a really good movie. There's a really great twist at the end after the credits, and that is.
I heard about that, so we could talk. You could talk about.
Oh yeah, the GI Joe, dude. GI Joe, like what I hope from this is that this is a way for them to use like more of the human characters, right? Let the human characters in Transformers, like they can start to kind of focus into GI Joe, and let the Transformer movies be about Transformers, because that is what we want. It was cool. It had some of the feeling of a Michael Bay movie, but at the same time kind of told its own thing. Like it wasn't just all, like the story itself made sense, which was cool. Like I'm not used to that in the Transformers movie. So that was dope. I enjoyed it though. And what else I watched was Flash, and I've seen it's a really kind of like torn thing, on the interwebs right now on the internet, like, and even between people I know, Boyk and Tito loved it, absolutely loved the movie, dude. They thought it was great. Couldn't believe that I shit on it. Couldn't believe it. They were appalled that I shit on it. Nah, but they were just like, "Are you serious? Like, you didn't like this?" And I'm like, "Nope, I didn't." Certain things I did like. I loved Michael Keaton, and I actually don't like Michael Keaton as Batman that much. I'm not one of those people. That's not my thing. My Batman is not Michael Keaton. You know, is Michael Keaton even in my top 3 Batman? Probably not. Probably not. Not a big Michael Keaton guy. That's on me. That's on me. But I loved him in this. It was awesome. What this made me want more and more than anything is like literally a Batman Beyond live action movie with him as old man Bruce Wayne. It's the only thing that makes sense. Nobody else could do that. He was so good as playing old Bruce Wayne, and like he was kind of disheveled, but he's like kind of like, in this universe, like in that verse, like Gotham was good. Gotham, nothing was wrong anymore because metahumans weren't real, and like he literally had nothing to do, dude. He had nothing to do. So he's just chilling in his mansion, a little crazy, but it was great. He just played Bruce Wayne so well, and he played Batman so well, and like that was awesome. I think her name's Sasha, the actress that played Supergirl. Awesome. It's fantastic. Again, this is a CW verse guy. I watched all the damn DC CW shows. Okay, and I love the girl that plays Supergirl in those shows. She's awesome. But this version of it was really good. She was good. I liked her. And I liked Michael Keaton. The CGI is really bad. But I did see that the director, had come out and said, like, that's because we're seeing it in the way of how Barry sees it through the Speed Force. That's fine and all, but, like, I watched Zack Snyder's version of the Speed Force where Barry shows up to talk to Bruce, and, like, that looked 10 times, 100 times better than whatever the hell I just saw here. Okay? It's not that great of... to me, it just didn't do the things that I really wanted it to do. It's weird because it doesn't really reset the DCEU. I don't know what it does, which is confusing because we know James Gunn's taken over. I was looking at... They put all the Rotten Tomato scores. Not that those matter, but like just to reference, like the critical scores and stuff, and the only good ones were obviously Wonder Woman, the first one. Mwah. Fantastic. And then James Gunn's version of the Suicide Squad. So like this did not waver me at all on the James Gunn thing for DC. Like this doesn't have really anything to do with him, so it's like I don't feel that way. I'm very interested. What it did make me want and make me feel so upset that we were robbed of a Batfleck standalone movie. We were robbed of it. Truthfully robbed. He could have been maybe the best Batman of all time. Like the way he did it here, again, top notch. It was so awesome. But again, like Ezra Miller, like they're not a good actor. Sorry, not a good actor. Maybe it's also weird that like they want you to root for a guy when we know everything that Ezra has done outside of acting. Maybe that's what makes it hard. But I could probably get past that. I mean, like, I could look past that when I'm watching a movie. But the thing is that like Ezra Miller, when you are the lead of a superhero movie, it's very different. And I don't know how to explain this really. It's more of just a thing. Like if you notice, like when I watch the lead of a superhero movie versus let's say like when Leonardo DiCaprio was the lead of like Shutter Island or something, right? Or like Inception. Those are very different ways that you need to present yourself. That you need to be presented.
It's different acting. It's a different skill set.
Yes. So when I look at that and I see guys like RDJ, or eventually what happened with Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans, where they like they were able to mold themselves and like evolve into being able to do those type of things. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa in the Black Panther movie, Henry Cavill as Superman, Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne. Ezra doesn't have that. Ezra Miller does not have those chops for that. So like to have to do that and then to have 2 Ezra Millers at the same time, and they're the main people. It's weird, dude. Just didn't work for me. I have nothing like. I don't think it was awful. I actually have been debating, and I still am in my head. Like, I don't know which one I liked more. I don't know if I like the Flash more or Ant-Man Quantumania. Like, I don't know. Both of those are kind of on the same level for me. But as I was doing that, because I keep on the, what is that, letterbox or whatever, I keep track of the movies I've seen in theaters this year, and ones that I watch outside of theaters, because I could tell you now, The Flash will not be on my list for AM Nation Best Picture. You know what I mean? Not gonna be on there, dude. It's not. I think everybody should see it if you are a fan of the DC properties. I think if you are interested in it, I do not think it's a bad, awful movie by any stretch of the imagination. I just think it's okay. That's all. So, like, that was a little bit of a letdown for me because I was excited. But I should have tempered my expectations anyway, you know what I mean? But overall, it was okay. It was an okay movie.
Well, it's like, I've listened to a few podcasts and such on it. I was going to avoid spoiler stuff, but then when you texted me, you're like, hey, man, just wait till it's on the max. I was like, all right, cool. I'll just deep dive into spoilers. Like, it's okay.
Oh.
And the feeling that I'm getting from, especially kind of like hardcore DC fans like yourself and like other people, they're more disappointed with the movie than I guess like more casuals. Like,
yeah.
I guess less hardcore DC fans. Because, and I mean, I don't even consider myself a hardcore DC fan, but I was super excited for this movie too. I mean, the trailers were freaking, the trailers were awesome. They had me excited. And like, I even told Colleen before we saw Spider-Verse, I was like, next week we gotta go see Flash. She's like, okay. And then like after Ryan texted me, I was like, we don't have seat anymore.
Nope. I'd go see Transformers again. I literally told David doesn't care about DC. All he wanted to see was Michael Keaton. So for him, that's a great experience, right? As somebody, if you love Michael Keaton is your Batman, then you are going to feel so much warmth and joy as you watch him put on the mantle that not very mobile again. You know what I mean? It's gonna be awesome. But I literally looked at David and go, I would have rather seen Transformers again, bro. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Really? I'm gonna watch Transformers twice? For real? Yeah, that's how I felt. In a theater. You know what I mean? Not like watching on TNT because it's on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I understand that.
I get it.
Sucks. Absolutely sucks. Oh, well. It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. I do, again, recommend you should watch it when it's on Max. You should watch it, and you should, like, pencil out a little bit of time for yourself, get yourself some popcorn, and watch it. You might like it. You might say, hey, this actually is pretty good. I like this. For me, it didn't really appeal to my appetite.
Hey, that's, it happens.
It does. BK, let's discuss what we've been playing, as you alluded to and what I didn't allude to. It's Diablo 4. There's no surprise here. It's Diablo 4. BK, you've played more Diablo 4. How are you feeling?
I love it. It brings a lot of nostalgic memories back of Diablo 2 in all the right ways. I played the shit out of Diablo 2 like on PC back in the day. Like my parents used to have jokes about it. They're like, jokes of like me like get off the PC and play it and stop playing that game. But like, and all my buddies and I, like, we would play outside, get homework done, then we'd hop on the PCs and we'd play Diablo like together, like, then go to school the next day, talk about like sports, Diablo, everything. It was like just kind of constant, and we did this for like years. This is like what we did, and it was just great. This one's bringing back all the right feelings. Diablo 3 did not do that. It was more of a, and I guess I should have gone back to Diablo 3. Like, I played it initially at launch, harassed off work, did all the nine, and just it didn't feel the same. The world was more like vibrant and colorful in the wrong kind of way, because Diablo is meant to be gory and kind of dreary, but like you can still have like a more of a matted color palette and still have like a lot of colors in there, but not like so bright and shiny like Diablo 3 was. But like this one is it's hitting all the right spots. The skill tree feels great. I'm really enjoying it. You're a little bit further ahead than I think I'm only level 45, 46. I'm on Act 5 on World 2. I've been kind of holding off going a little bit further in the game just because I'm waiting for my buddy. Because we've been both kind of doing renown, so like we've been going around just to make sure we build up our free skill points, I guess you call them, and our potion capacity. Like I'm at 8, so I need one more. Person. Yeah, and then I only need to get 2 more skill points, like from the renown, and then I have all the free skill points done that I can get. So I've been doing like a lot of that, just to kind of level up my character without leveling up the beasts in the game and all the enemies around you, kind of taking advantage of that and trying to get and do specific dungeons to get specific aspects for my druid that will help my werebear build. Because for everyone at home, that's my build. I'm doing a tanky werebear build where I'm just kind of meant to sit there. I can take a lot of damage and I'll be able to dish it out with like criticals every now or then, and especially overpower damage. Like that's like my goal. So that's how I've been playing. Super duper love this game. I don't know what's going to stop me from playing it more. It's like the only thing that's honestly stopped me from playing it, and this is like is Colleen playing Hogwarts. So like I'll play a little bit, then she'll hop on play Hogwarts till she gets like a little tired. Then I'll hop on Diablo, and we kind of like alternate. And it's actually been working out for us. But what are your thoughts on Diablo 4?
I would love for you to sit down with Dan, who's also running a druid, and I watched his build, his man bear pig, build yesterday in full action, dude, and it was nasty. It was nasty. So like, Nick, David, and Dan were all in their level 50 plus, and I was at 48 and a half. But I wanted to get to 50. I've already finished campaign, all that stuff, but like, I want to get 50 so I can get to Nightmare World 3 and start doing Nightmare Dungeons, because that's where you're really going to start to like get your loot and really start to kind of like, that's the game. You know what I mean? Like right now what we're doing, that's just part of it. That's just the beginning. Once you get to 50 and you finish the story and you can do all that stuff, the next game begins, right? And so they were like, "Here, we'll join with you. Let's run some dungeons, and we'll get you to 50," which I did, and it didn't take me that long. So that's cool. So now I'm in Nightmare World 3, and I should be able to hopefully maybe today play a little bit of that. But like, it was just, I love this game. I love this game very, very much. I know I wanted to play more Tears of the Kingdom, but I just don't think it's going to happen. It didn't call to me the way the Diablo did, right? I tried to play Tears of the Kingdom, and it just wasn't the vibe for me at that point in time. I wasn't really trying to like rack my brain around a bunch of puzzles and trying to figure it just wasn't something that I really wanted to do. So Diablo 4 came and said, "Don't worry, dude." Lilith with her mommy milkers, dude, came and whispered into my ear, and I was in, dude. I love Diablo 4. This game is amazing. Something we could just talk about it here, like the fact that, okay, so you got out of Diablo 3 pretty quickly. Me, I just don't really have a lot of like memories with Diablo 3. I only played it a little bit with my brothers when they wanted to, and that was kind of it. This seasonal is about to start. We're about to get up the first season of Diablo that should be coming around the corner. And as Rod Ferguson then pointed out, like you're gonna have you gotta have like a specific character for that season, right? So you're gonna have like a new character for that season. Now I know a lot of people are like, "What the fuck? Like what?" Like me, and like I think even Joey was like, "That's weird. That's a weird choice. I don't know why they did that." But then I also read online a lot of people that played Diablo 3 like, this is exactly what Diablo 3 did. Now, that's not to say it's the right decision or really the wrong decision. I don't know. I'm interested in how this is going to work out. Like, it's kind of weird because I'm like, okay, so I have this necromancer that I love and that I'm going to put time in. And I've been working with the skill tree and trying to I keep changing my build every once in a while, right? Like, and so then what? I have to now do a new character? And I'm like, I mean, okay, but like, I got to run through everything. Like, all right, that's fine. But I'm just interested on what it's going to be because, like, I'm all for it. I'm all for playing the season and doing all the fun stuff, especially because it's all cosmetic, and that's fine. And it's also a thing, like BK and I talked about, like, if you love a game and you want to, like, and they do, battle passes or whatever, and you want to support the game, feel free to do so because you love the game and they earned it. And I will tell you that Activision Blizzard and this team earned it for me. So I have no problem doing that. I will test it out, and if it kind of sucks and I think the system's dumb, then maybe I don't do the second season or anything after that. But I'll definitely try this one out. But like your thoughts, I guess, on like the fact that we are going to have like a seasonal character.
Yeah, I know that's how it was done for Diablo 3. It's weird. So when Diablo 2 came out, and I'm gonna keep going back to that because that was the first Diablo I played. I didn't play Diablo 1, but I got in the ground floor Diablo 2 early on. And the expansion for that was a Baal Lord of Destruction. And it was like a pure story expansion. I also love in this Diablo. I think it's in Act 2. Yeah, it's Act 2, if not Act 3. There's a lot of call outs to Diablo 2 when they talk about the primevals. They talk about Mephisto, Diablo, and they talk about Baal. There's like a lot of references to that. But what I'm saying is the expansions for Diablo 2 were story based. You didn't have to reset your character or anything like that. You kind of just kept playing. So I wish they would have done that. Because there are story parts to this seasonal pass. So that's just kind of weird to me that you can't just take the character that you've kind of cultivated, you love, and because I don't think everyone out there, for the most part, has like 4 or 5 level 50 plus characters. I think the most hardcore people absolutely do, and so they probably don't have a problem with this. But I think with the season pass, you are trying to appease the hardcores, but then you're also trying to, like I said, get in some of the casuals. You're trying to make some more money. So why don't you let them kind of carry over their eternal characters, is what they're called right now. So that part is just I don't know. That's a little weird to me. And I will touch upon how there's some people, and maybe because I'm not a big like online gamer now, as everybody knows.
Right.
There's like people out there, they're complaining about, they're like, oh, I should have certain builds within that character where I can easily like hop between certain like different builds, like structures, like how I set up my character, like on the fly like that. And I'm just like, no, I absolutely don't think you should be able to do that. I think if you want to do that, you need to just go through the process and just level up a character again. You need to be an adult. You need to make adult decisions and actually stick with a path. Because guess what? In Diablo 2, when you clicked the skill point and you wanted to keep it, you had to keep it. That's just how it was. And guess what? No one complained. Everybody was cool with it. They just knew, like, okay, I have to make a decision. I got to stick with it. And guess what? If you made the wrong decisions, you just made a new character, and life goes on. So I think it's when these people are like, oh, like I want to have all these different builds within this one character, and I want to be able to switch. It's like, well, no, like you're more likely to break the game that way, into where you're gonna just keep playing with things, into where you're gonna make them like unfair. And it's like, I don't even necessarily think that's fair to the developers, because you're just sitting there. It's like, well, I want you to make it easier for me just to make the game like less fun, and so then I can complain to you. And it's like, well, no, I don't think you should be able to do that.
No, I agree. But yeah, I it's so fun. I love that we both love this game. I know yesterday, like I said, I got Dan was on, and I like messaged him like, hey, you want to run dungeons with us? Because like I'm just trying to get to 50. And he like texted me. He's like, oh yeah, let me just finish this. I'll jump in. And he literally joined. I was like, oh, this man is alive. He's a real person. And yeah, so he played with us, and it was really fun. And then we were talking about like how like Mike, not sure. Well, I am throwing shade at you, Mike. Is just been playing WoW. I guess WoW's got some type of like event or something going on, right? But this man was so hyped for Diablo, but here he is playing WoW. And even Dad's like, dude, you just gotta let that shit go, man. Just play Diablo. Let it go. You don't need to do that anymore. God. And I was like, oh, it's so true, dude. You don't need to be playing WoW. Get out of that. Let's enjoy what we have. Let's enjoy some Diablo. Now Mike's listening. He's like, I'm just gonna WoW even harder now, just because of it, just to spite you guys. It's cool with me, man. I love this game. Here I was, and it was so funny as I was talking to David about it. Like when Tears of the Kingdom released, we just assumed that it was a layup. That like Tears of the Kingdom is gonna probably win the AMNATION Pod Game of the Year. It's gonna be like whatever. What's it matter? I don't think so no more. I don't think so, dude. I know like so many people now that have played Diablo and love this game so much. I don't know, dude. It might be Diablo. Might be Diablo 4, dude. Who would have thought the first Blizzard game to win it for us wasn't WoW? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
cool.
I don't even know when I'm gonna pick up Tears of the Kingdom, and not like, and I do want to play it, but it's just like I'm looking at like the games I'm playing, like what's on the horizon. I just don't know when I'm gonna pick up Tears of the Kingdom. I have no idea, because I pre-ordered Starfield. So we have the early access for us both if we want to. I'll be playing at early access.
Yeah.
I know you may not. You may still be in the Final Fantasy zone. So,
man, speaking of that, let's talk about fact that it's getting great reviews, 90 on OpenCritic, 88 on Metacritic. This game, when I played the demo, I'm so happy they did come out with the demo, because I think what it did was it like gave so many people that were kind of curious on like what this game was going to be and like kind of on the fence were like, oh no, never mind, I'm all in. I'm all in. I've seen a lot of people say it's like one of their favorite Final Fantasy games. That's really awesome. I'm so excited to play this game. I'm so happy. I think it's 35 to 40 hours to like beat the main story, and like 10 of those hours is cutscenes, so like it's really not that bad. Um, so I'm excited, dude. Like I loved it. I know some people are just like, you know, they want the certain style of Final Fantasy and that's how they're gonna play it. And like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool if you appreciate that. But I like this modern version of Final Fantasy that we're in. It's I'm so excited for it. So I'm very, very pumped up for that to even come out. Well, if you got the early, it's out now. Otherwise, like the rest of us will be playing it probably this weekend.
Is it similar combat to FF7 Remake?
Do you mean like how, in the sense of it's free roam, like you can move around and just do your thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, same thing. Same.
That's good.
There was no like there are companions with you, but you weren't controlling their combat. You were just focusing on your character, which was cool again with me. That's fine. I love that. I can't remember what the kaijus are called in that game. There's an actual term for them, but like the kaiju monsters, spirit things that you have, there was a giant battle that you had with them, and you controlled it and you fought in it, and it was really cool. Like that control system felt really good too. So like, this is another game that I'm very, very excited about. Like I said, I should hopefully dive into it this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited to play it, though. I'm very, very pumped up. I'm very jazzed for that. Again, what a month. What a run we had. We had Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter, Diablo 4, and now Final Fantasy 16. And it's like, wow, dude. Just what a stretch that, like, it's so funny as, like, Joey and I talked about, I think, on a Big J and BB show, where we were like, I don't know. I don't know what these games, I don't know how these are all going to turn out. And boom. Bangers, dude. Banger after banger after banger after banger, and it's like tough on gamers' wallets, but at the same time, what a fun time to enjoy video games.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time to be a gamer. So, yeah, the game of the year voting is going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of very
tough cuts,
good,
dude.
if not great games that are not going to make people's top 5 or top 3.
Yeah.
It's like I said, there was Hogwarts Legacy earlier in the year, Dead Space remake. Yeah. I mean, we got Pikmin 4 coming out here in a month.
There wasn't a Resident Evil mixed in there, right?
There was.
Oh, wow, dude. Oh, no. What a year.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, we've mentioned it before. We won't know till the end of the year, but man, it's got to be one of the best years in gaming on record. It's got to be, like, right now, I'd say probably top 5, and depending how the rest of the year goes, it could vault into the top 3, if not best year ever.
I think if Spider-Man 2 and Starfield are bangers, Mortal Kombat even, like, wow, what a time. It's gonna be so interesting. I can't wait to see, like, for the official Game Awards from Jeff Keighley, like, what games will actually make the cut, because, like, it's gonna be difficult. Like, because, like, if I'm somebody that's a fan of Street Fighter 6, like, I'm kind of like, I feel the way that I think Forza Horizon fans did when we're like low key, this should be on the list. Like, this game's really good. This game should be on the list. But, like, I don't know. I don't know if that fighting game makes the cut.
Forza Motorsport comes out this year too.
Oh yeah, so, you're right. You're right.
So, and that's like another kind of case of what you're talking about Street Fighter. Like, hey, like, I mean, if this game scores well and it's, like, lauded, like, why is it not getting its hat thrown into the ring?
What a year, dude. I'm so excited. Also, too, I want to throw this in here right now. Marvel Snap has a new mode. It's called Conquest Mode. I've been playing it a little bit. It has different tiers, right? So you have Proving Grounds, which is that's just easy. It's free to play. You can play Proving Grounds as many times as you want. When you get one win in Proving Grounds, you earn a silver ticket and you earn 15 medals. Then you have Silver Conquest, which does require 1 silver ticket. If you get 2 wins in a row there, you earn a gold ticket at 120 medals. You get the gold ticket, you go to Gold Conquest. If you get the Gold Conquest, you got to win 3 in a row. If you win 3 Conquest battles in a row, you get an Infinity ticket for the final week of the season. The final week of that season, you can play Infinity Conquest, where you can earn a little Infinity board around your avatar and over 1,375 medals, which are used in the new medal shop. Each time with a new season with the medal shop, there will be like an exclusive card that you get if you make 9 purchases with your tickets or with your tokens that you earned by playing Conquest. You make them. So like this time it's a Carnage Green Goblin, very cool, and a bunch of other things in there. This is really cool for a game. I think to add a new competitive mode, it changes everything. It's so much different than playing the regular ladder mode. Whereas now it's very similar to it's the same concept as friendly battles, right? Where you bring a deck in, and it's you have 10 life points, and whoever loses the life points, they lose. I've had fun with that. It's just fun to try different decks. That's been really cool. I've enjoyed that. This season right now is the Spider Wars season. So you got Spider-Gwen is the season pass card. They're all kind of about moving. They're all about movement. So now Move Deck is like getting it buff it so rightfully deserved. Move Deck is one of those decks that's very hard to like learn and master, right? Because what's cool about Spider-Gwen is she gives you the option now you're not always moving to the left, right? Obviously BK played Marvel Snap, and that he knows that like literally if you played a move deck, everything's just moving to the left. That's all you could do. But now Spider-Gwen allows you to, the last card you played, move to where she is. So you can move to the right, you can do things, you can move things around. It's honestly a good card to put in really almost a lot of decks. It doesn't even have to be a specific move deck anymore. Very, very cool. Spider-Ham just got added this week. He turns 1 card in your opponent's deck into just a pig. They'll keep their power, but they'll be a 4-cost pig and they lose all their abilities. Right? So you could fuck somebody.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you could fuck somebody. You could fuck Dr. Doom. So yeah.
How does that work with Lockjaw? So like what if someone like plays a Lockjaw, so he's played and then affects someone's card, then he's like bloop, put back into like the deck. Does that work? Is that possible?
I think so. I think what you're saying is right. Yeah. So on reveal, transform the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into a pig, keeping its power and cost. So yeah, like it could be an Infinite, could be a 420, dude. It could be a 620. You know what I mean? But it's just a pig, dude. You know, you fuck up the Dr. Dooms, you fuck up the Magnetos, you fuck up a lot of cards, dude. Like
oh my gosh, yeah, because you could pair them with Wong, so on reveal abilities happen twice, or like you do the Wong with Steven stack, yeah. So then it just goes 4 times, and so then essentially you can change the whole person's hand to fucking pigs.
Yeah, whatever their highest cost card is, dude. Yeah. Yeah,
what the fuck?
It's very cool. It's very cool. Obviously, got to have the tokens to get it right now, but it's a fun card. I love that people in the Snap community love it compared to like how they hated Leech, but they love Spider-Ham. It is great. You know, Spider-Ham's awesome. So this is cool. We're gonna have Spider-Man 2099 getting added, I think, next week. He's move based as well, move and destroy based. Silk got added. She's move based. So like all Spider-Man, obviously all move based. It's weird that the worst card of all the Spider family is Spider-Man himself. Like okay, I don't know what you do with that, but yeah, Marvel Snap's been fun still too. When I do get time to play it, I do. But again, Diablo's taking over my life right now, so kind of where I'm at on that. Netflix is in early talks with Warner Brothers Discovery about licensing HBO originals on Netflix. These talks could fall through, as I've been hearing as well. BK, you kind of mentioned it's just right before the show. It's just another avenue for profit, for money.
Yeah, it's another way for Max to bring in money because, you know, one, Max is a terrible name and people aren't going to associate HBO with Max. Which, like, Colleen and I were talking about this because there was an ad before Spider-Verse 2. We're talking about, like, the Max app. And I was like, why would you take the most recognizable, like, one of the most recognizable names in TV, HBO, and that app, and just get rid of it completely and just be like, Max? What a bad decision. So this is just another way to bring in more profit. And I likened it to, Yellowstone, geez, I forgot the name of it there for a second, being on 2 different streaming platforms where the backlog catalog is on Paramount Plus or Peacock, and then the newer episodes are on the inverse of that. So that's just what it is. Just like another way for money to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now today, let me just talk about this a little bit. We talked about the Xbox Showcase. That review's out, right? We went over it. We talked about our favorite things about it. I think a couple weeks before that, we talked about the PlayStation Showcase. You know what I mean? The PlayStation Showcase, not good. Not good. The Xbox Showcase, really good. Really, really good. Nintendo comes out with the Direct today, and a legit Direct, a 40-minute Direct, not just based on one game where they're going to show you stuff coming out this year and beyond. And it was really good, dude. They did it. I can't believe it. I can't believe we got at least 2 out of the big 3 to have really good conferences. I am so ecstatic. I can't believe PlayStation even dropped the ball. This should have been a 3-peat. This should have been like just an amazing time where I would have just felt overwhelmed and not known what to do. But this is awesome. So I'm going to go through what Nintendo talked about, and we'll talk about some of the things that stood out to us. So it started with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Hidden Treasures of Area Zero. That is the next expansion coming for the game. As I was listening to my notes as I'm watching it, I'm like, there's no way the game actually looks this smooth. If that is real, I would jump back in. But there's no way. There's no way the game runs that smooth. There's new Pokemon to discover, it looks like. There's 2 parts. The part 1, the Teal Mask, and part 2, the Indigo Disc. So there you go. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet expansion. I don't think they gave a release date. It's probably sometime this fall. Sonic Superstars, which we saw during the Summer Game Showcase, that is also coming to the Switch. A new entry into Myth Force series, that is also shown off as well. We got Detective Pikachu Returns. Very, very cool. Detective Pikachu, awesome. Just talking, cracking jokes, having a good old time there. I cannot remember Detective Pikachu's partner, the kid with the red coat. I don't remember his name, but they showed him as well. I want to see if they actually showed a release date for that. Don't know. I don't think they did, but let me just double check.
Yeah, October 6th here in the notes.
Oh, then I did. All right, cool. My notes looked weird to me. All right, October 6th. There you go. Detective Pikachu Returns. October 6th. He wrote a Growlithe at one point. I loved this. I thought this was so cute. I loved it. I was like, oh, see, this is something I'd pick up. This is something I'd pick up and play on the Switch. This is fun. I like this. Then, by God, they did it. The Super Mario RPG remake. Turn-based combat. Oh, my God. It's fantastic. It looks awesome. I'm so ecstatic. Cannot wait for this. November 17th. Let's get it. It's going to be great. And not only were they done, they literally said, we heard all you Mario fans complaining. Where's Mario? Where's Mario? They said, don't worry, dude. Buckle the fuck up because we got a lot of Mario shit. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon coming to the Switch later this year. A brand new side-scrolling Princess Peach adventure is coming to the Switch in 2024. Yes. This is just, if you're a Mario fan, eat it up, all right? The Batman Arkham Collection coming to the Switch. Weird, I, for whatever reason, thought they were already on the Switch. They're not. The trailer looked really good. It hyped me up if I felt like I really wanted to play those games again, and I'd do it on the Switch. It was really cool. Pikmin 4. We gotta look into that. Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 digitally are out right now. Today on the Switch. There's a demo for Pikmin 4 coming June 28th. Dragon Quest Monsters Dark Prince. That looked really cool as well. That's coming December 1st. The Switch confirmed that the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection is coming to the Switch as well. And what's so crazy, the PlayStation one couldn't give us the release date of this collection, but the Switch conference did. October 24th, you get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. Coming to the Switch, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 3, 4, all that good stuff. Vampire Survivors, which you might have heard some of us talk about on the show before, very fun game. That is coming to the Switch August 17th, and we'll have 4-player local co-op. Mario Kart 8. Continue just to beat that shit into the ground, dude. Just give me a new one. I know. I have to wait for the next Switch. I know, but please. But it's really cool. They're adding a bunch of old characters from the game. PD Piranha and Comic are 2 of them coming. Wave 5, that comes, I believe, in August. And then, you know what to do. They hit you with Oh, wait. One more thing. And it's a brand new 2D side-scrolling Mario adventure, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, coming October 20th. You can play as Daisy for the first time in a side-scrolling Mario adventure. You have Luigi, you have Peach, Yoshi's in it too. Damn it, I was so excited. One, I'm also somebody that's very excited for the Sonic 2D Superstar side-scrolling game. I love, when done right, I love a good 2D side-scroller, so I'm very excited. But we're getting a Mario one, dude. I cannot believe that Nintendo was just sitting on this. And they dropped it on us. We're getting two big Super Mario games. We're getting Super Mario RPG Remake and Super Mario Wonder. Very, very excited. Overall, as a Mario fan, as a Nintendo fan, I like this Direct. This was a good Direct, especially because all we knew going into it was Pikmin 4. We literally had no idea what the end of the year looked like for Nintendo. Now we do. We got some Mario stuff. And worth noting that the 2D Super Mario Wonder team is not the team that worked on Odyssey, so be prepared for another 3D Mario adventure down the road. The follow-up to Odyssey. Perhaps on the Switch 2.0. But BK, you joined the show kind of late. But overall, dude, we got some cool shit.
Yeah, still a great show. I think it was smart to honestly kind of get the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet out of the way early. Like, okay, people were not happy. I still haven't even played that game at all. Maybe maybe in the waiting room, I'll checking that out. I don't know. But it was really smart just to get that game out of the way just after how it was reviewed not very well, and then kind of like building up hype over time. Detective Pikachu Returns, like that has me excited. That first game was a lot of fun. I just kind of like a little mystery game. Who doesn't? Mm-hmm. So that's super cool. Super Mario RPG, that cool. I love RPGs. Batman Arkham Collection, that's cool. I wonder how well that's gonna run though. Yeah, the first game that was on like PS2, Xbox 360 generation. Yeah. So yeah, not worried about that one running as much. But the later ones where they're on Xbox One and PS4 and PS3, that one has me a bit worried. Like, how well are they going to run on Switch? Is it going to be like a Witcher 3 situation where it's just like, yeah, it exists on this platform, but you shouldn't get it. You shouldn't do it. So that has me worried. The Pikmin 4, I saw that, and I don't know. It didn't get me super excited. It didn't look bad, but I wasn't sitting there like, oh, like fucking dynamite. Like, you know what I mean? I could just be being an asshole, but
no, you're right.
You have a super cute dog in it now, so that's cool. That's a good decision. Always put in doggos and kitty cats. Like, honestly, it's hard to go wrong with those two things. The Metal Gear Solid collection coming, super fucking cool. Like I said, not really worried about those PS2 era games running. I'm okay with that. I have no thoughts on Vampire Survivors. Mario Kart 8, though, getting more shit. Whew. I mean, and you left out a character on here. Wiggler's
That's
coming
right.
to Mario
That's
Kart
right.
8. Wiggler. So get fucking excited. I actually texted the boys that I always play Mario Kart with, and I was like, "What? When we have a Mario Kart night? When we getting back at this?" I was like, "When do I gotta whack some ass in Mario Kart?" Huh? What? Who do I got to stunt on? Super pumped. I love Mario Kart. That's one of my more favorite Nintendo franchises. And then another 2D Mario side scroller. Like, that's cool. You having access to all the characters. That's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. Getting Daisy, getting some love for her. So that's awesome. And then shout out to what you said earlier on that I glanced over accidentally. Peach getting her own standalone game. That's super cool. So, like, we're getting some. It's. I don't want to say a new franchise, but it kind of is to a certain degree. It's like when Goofy got his own movie. We were all lit. We're like, hey, we're just happy Goofy's getting his own thing. Like,
yeah,
we don't care what happens. We're just happy that Goofy got a movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, dude, just a fun Nintendo Direct. That's what that was. That was fun. Like I had a good time watching that. Very very excited for the future of Nintendo here, and we'll see again. What is next? I know everybody's like, damn it, where's the Switch 2? Don't worry, dude. It's coming. I know it is.
So do you think it is like next like holiday or fall?
Wouldn't shock me if we get a Nintendo Direct like all right, there's two things that I think could happen, right? Okay, our boy Jeff Keighley, right? He was in his bag when he unveiled the Xbox Series X. I remember that. At the Game Awards. Maybe he's the one that they say, hey, reveal it. Here comes the Switch 2. Pre-orders begin. Boom. Right? If not, it would not surprise me if Nintendo unveils it at like a Direct sometime early next year. Boom. Holiday 2024. Get ready. I'm like, damn, dude. With a new Mario game, all this stuff, I don't know if they put a Mario Kart with it. Maybe. Maybe not right away. You know what I mean? So
I could see a summer direct like this, like June, July, and where they do the one more thing at the end, and it's like a short little, maybe 30-second to a minute little teaser about the next Switch, and they say, tune in next direct. And like they give and it's like beginning of fall, so it's like early September. And that's where it's a full direct just dedicated to Switch 2.0, whatever it's called. And they say pre-orders begin later today, drops this holiday season. I could totally see that. But the pessimist in me thinks that it's not coming out until 2025.
damn.
Pessimist in me.
2025. Copy that. We'll see. But overall, what a fun Nintendo Direct. Let's do here. EA making some internal changes. EA Games will split into EA Entertainment to separate itself from EA Sports. It's hinting at maybe getting into more than just video games. Nothing really doesn't really change too much. It's just that they're just splitting it up within the company themselves. Same people they're still reporting to, all that stuff. So it's not really a big news for us. It's more of just internally this is how they're going to separate themselves. Immortals of Avenum delayed to August for polishing. That's cool, dude. That's cool. Don't worry about it. Get out of the way. We're still on Diablo 4.
Honestly, it's smart because, Pikmin's mid to late July, but you go to August there, it's okay, it opens up a little bit. There is something there in August. What is it? I'm missing it. Armored Core 6. So that's something to watch out for. But it's a little bit more open. Not a bad decision to delay, especially because the developer, it's their first AAA game. It's their first really big budget game. So good decision. Push it back a little bit.
Absolutely. Spotify. They're going to be introducing a new price tier for better audio quality above their premium subscription already. Damn it, Spotify. I mean, I'll still buy it. You know what I mean? I love Spotify. I'm a very big, very happy guy with the Spotify. But hey, guess what? You can still listen to AM Nation Pod on Spotify, though. You know what I mean? Amalgamation Nation. Check it out. Kick is throwing money everywhere. This is something that gets talked about every single time I'm in Discord with David and Nick and everybody, or if we're just hanging out. We talk about this constantly, and the fact of what are these people doing? What does Kick, the people that run Kick, do? What kind of money laundering is going on over there, dude? What kind of business are they in? They gave a 2-year, $100 million deal to XQC. Amaranth, she's also switched over to Kick. I don't know how much they're paying her. I didn't see the number on that, but dude, it's absolutely insane. But just so you know, our check might have gotten lost in the mail, so you can still find us on twitch.tv/undeadblackbull or youtube.com AMNationPod. That works too. Hit the sub button on both of those. But yeah, dude, crazy. There's a lot of money going around.
Might as well just call it crypto because it's all scam, baby.
I guess, dude. I don't know what's happening. As somebody that loved watching XQC playing one of the best tanks he played on Overwatch in the beginning, and now here he is making 2-year, $100 million deal. That's crazy. You know what I mean? That's just crazy.
I honestly hadn't heard of Kick until that deal was announced, and I was like, "What the fuck is Kick?"
Yeah, dude. Crazy shit going on. Crazy shit. Xbox ID, they're indie developing. They show some exciting indie titles. That is coming July 11th, partnering with IGN. So that'd be really cool for indie titles here coming from Xbox. Marvel is skipping Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. It looks like HBO and others may skip as well. Now, you might have said, oh my god, why? The writer's strike's going on, dude. They can't talk about anything. No studios can talk about anything right now. So, like, of course, yeah, it's gonna be a lackluster San Diego Comic-Con in that regard, because I don't think any major studios will be there to talk. Not with the writer's strike.
No. It's still a bummer though. Like
It is, yeah, of course.
Just because it's San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, it's the biggest thing. I feel like, yeah, with the writer's strike going on, then we just lean in harder to like the comic book stuff. Like, hey, yeah, Marvel Studios won't be there, but we're gonna have even more of our comic book, writers, our artists, like there. I don't know. Maybe they are, and I just don't know that little tidbit of information.
Yeah, we'll see. And then to wrap up the show, I think it's only right. Xbox versus FTC kicks off. Jim Ryan will not be there in person, nor will he be doing a live video phone call. He'll just be having a pre-audio video call done there that he'll be doing. We're going to have all the big people from Microsoft and Xbox, though, there in person to testify. This is going to be really interesting. I don't know. They had, like, whatever that's called. I'm not really good with this legal jumbo mumbo stuff, but cool. I know it's going to be all over people's Twitters and Xbox Twitter and gaming Twitter, and it's just going everywhere, dude. I know you sent me the solid breakdown of it earlier, which I was reading through, and I was like, okay, I don't know, like, what all this means, but copy that. M-A-C-T-O-N, Macton 93, Michael Acton on Twitter broke it down. To win a preliminary injunction blocking a deal, FTC does not have to show it's anti-competitive. Instead, the judge assessing the case has to do three things. 1, decide if the market definition makes sense. 2, determine whether there's a likelihood of success on the merits. And 3, balance the equities. So, BK, it begins.
Yeah, so you had the evidentiary hearing today. So it's just kind of talking about essentially setting the stage for the court case here in the coming days, talking about what evidence they want to bring forth, who they want to bring on the stand, who will be cross-examined, all that stuff, essentially, from what I gather. I'm no legal expert either, but that's just from everything I've been reading. Bless you.
Bless you.
And then, dang, that threw me off. All right, and as well as when they're talking about what evidence they're going to present, then that's where you can kind of say, oh, we want something redacted here, because company secrets kind of thing. And that's what is interesting, because the FTC is presenting evidence, and they're like, but we want it redacted. When this is just a governing body, so they shouldn't have this super redacted information, but it's coming from Sony, and Sony wants it redacted. But normally, when you're kind of, it's the roles kind of reversed there. Normally, it's like the big corporation who's being attacked by the FTC, who's like, oh, like, we have these internal documents, we don't want them getting out, like, we will just have to redact a bunch of it, blah, blah, blah. They're usually the ones doing that, not the FTC in this case. So that says a lot, in my opinion, but just is what it is. And then Jim Ryan not being there in person, which his office is in the UK, which that just seems weird with how everything's gone on with the CMA, but that's just me fueling the fire to a certain degree, so I'll admit that's a conspiracy theory. But him not doing a live video conference, or like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, FaceTime, that's
Teams.
Like concerning. He can't do a live, so it's like a pre-recorded statement. It's gonna be so hard for them to like use that as like evidence for anything, because he's not there. He can't answer questions. He can't really reiterate his stance and uphold it. That's concerning. It's super concerning. I don't know. And everything I've been reading, it doesn't look great already for Sony and the FTC. Does not look great right now.
That's right, baby. Suck it. Let's get this deal done, all right? Let's give gamers what they deserve. Damn it. I'm tired of this shit. I just want it over with. You know what I mean? I'm tired of talking about it all the time. Tired of it. But it's all right. It's all done. It's all good. We'll see how this goes as it could begin to play out, I believe, beginning tomorrow. And I believe that does it for this edition of Amalgamation Nation, the gaming show today. Great show all around, right? Got to talk about Nintendo. We had Colleen on to talk about Hogwarts and many other things, including our love of Diablo 4. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you can find the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's at AMNationPod. Hit the follow button on all of those. The intro music of Taicho Beardo. New music dropped on SoundCloud and Spotify. Let's check out his links and go support him as well. Podcast platforms where you listen to us: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Just search Amalgamation Nation. And while you're there, you'll notice the Big J and BB Show episodes are going to be put into the same feed, so it's a little bit easier for everybody to jump into those episodes and not have to search a separate show and stuff like that. So that's fine. You'll be checking those out there as well. YouTube.com/AMNationPod is where you find us on YouTube. Hit that sub and follow button. We appreciate it. Twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull is where you find David. Give him a follow and a sub as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Gaming sub a month, so give it to Undead Blackbull. The Epic Games creator code is AMNationPod, so whether you're playing Fortnite, Rocket League, or the Epic Games Store, maybe on your PC, use that code and help support the show at no extra cost to you. Until next time, everybody, have a great week, and you stay breezy.